Now, in this video of medical education series, we will talk about learning theories. The last video was about learning principles, adult learning principles, and this one is about learning theories. Now, there is no single best learning theory. Each theory works on different aspects of learning. Sometimes a theory is highly appreciated by the society and suited for learning for many decades, but later on the same theory is disproved and rejected and a new theory arises. So it's a constant phase of learning that is continuously changing. Learning theories provides a general explanation for observation made over time. Learning is a continuous process that starts at birth and ends at death, and learning is present since before Christ, when it was in the form of recollection. Then in the 19th century, behaviorism was popular as a learning theory, followed by cognitivism as a cognitive load theory, and now the latest theory is Constructivism. And there is a social learning theory as well. We will discuss each one in detail. Now, behaviorism focuses on observable change in behavior. It's a teacher-centered theory. It emphasizes the role of environment in shaping behavior through reward and punishment. A famous example is whenever a dog is presented with food, saliva is secreted naturally. Now this response is linked that whenever food was presented to the dog, the bell was rung. So after some time, the dog thought that actually the food is linked with the bell. So when bell rang and even food was not presented, the dog saliva started to secrete. So that's learning through behavior, classical example of behaviorism. Minds can be shaped through careful planning. Behaviorism disregards the activities of the mind. It advocates for passive student learning in teacher-centric environment. So nowadays it's not liked by many. And now comes the cognitivism. It is based on the thought process behind behavior. It explains knowledge organization, storage, memory functions, and how individuals make sense of their experiences. The memory can be short-term and long-term memory. And the theory of cognitivism is cognitive load theory. Working memory relies on long-term memory content. It has limited capacity, so teachers can limit the learning by increasing the cognitive load. There are three types of mental or cognitive loads. Intrinsic, when the content which is presented is very complex and you are not able to solve the puzzle. Germane, processing memory, when lot of load is due to processing memory for building schematics. Extraneous, anything that diverts the mental activity from processing. So cognitivism can be implemented in education through mnemonics, through practice, through constant drills, level of processing, organized information, and it has also got limitations. It is also teacher-centered. There is little emphasis on effective characteristics of learning, and it has got a mechanistic approach. And now comes the constructivism. Learning is an active process in which meaning is constructed from experiences, real life experiences, real scenarios problem solving scenarios in ambiguous situations. All these comes in constructivism. So it has gained popularity because it addresses the knowledge component, the psychomotor skills, as well as the affective domain. So that's why nowadays constructivism is the most popular learning theory. Then we have also got social learning theory. According to this theory, learning is active and more when in groups and not individually. So when a learning activity is done in groups, communities, as a social event, communication skills develop, there is sense of belonging, learning occurs through cooperation and co-participation. Every member has some new information, so the whole group benefits from that. So that's a social learning theory. So I hope after watching this video you will be able to know the different learning theories, how they are evolved from recollection up to constructivism, and if they are asked in exam you can write it down. Thank you very much.